And whenever you're ready, let me know.
Hello. So it's upside down. Unmasked is a project that began as an experiment, really, into improvisation and different multidisciplinary art forms. Began with a single song and then a few more spoken word pieces. And I improvised waypoints in between these pieces. I then discovered stand-up comedy and worked on that with my developing your creative practice in 2020 and 2021. When things started to open up again in 2021, I then created a relationship with the New Econ Poets Cafe and the Bronx Council on the Arts in New York. And that really kind of helped me center the piece as performance memoir. Also, whilst working on my developing your creative practice, I had an artist called Akilo Joseph make a poster and an album cover for the project. And then I found myself liking it that much. I thought, why not involve more art in the project? So then I worked with this amazing artist, Miel Timon, who's in the Philippines, and everything he makes is from recycled materials. So this one here, it's got angel wings and kind of reflects my previous character of Indigo Angel earlier in my creative development, and also my love of professional wrestling. I liked comparing like the autistic approach to special interests with a global South perspective on environmentalism. So these masks do a lot of things at once. This one here combines the 4 Chinese classical elements with the 4 elements of hip hop. This one's my favorite. And the show was kind of developed to become more of a multidisciplinary project now. So there'll be an exhibition of the masks alongside the album, The Eighth Circle. And that kind of comes from a place of like my own lived experience. So I get migraines a lot with sensory overload due to being autistic. And I find that like meditation music, binaural beats, solfeggio frequencies are very good for helping to deal with that. So each of the 6 masks will be paired with a different song from the album, The Eighth Circle. And the album will be presented with QR codes on the masks in order to have like a multi-sensory experience. The show itself, everything will be fully accessible. I'm a big believer of accessibility as the standard, instead of just, oh, if you can make it on a Tuesday, we might have some access. It's like, no, access all the way. Big believer in that. Right, I'll summarize. Let's think. So there's BSL available for each of the songs that are going to be available on the album. So there'll be music videos with BSL music video. So it's really kind of live performance, multimedia, exhibition, and there's also workshops based on times where people have felt seen. I'm a big believer in your authentic self being seen, and often as disabled people, you get put in boxes. I'm a big believer in like smashing those boxes open and then maybe lighting a nice little bonfire and having a party that's on our terms. So that's what the project's all about. It's like, it's a love letter to disability through a disabled person's lived experience. My voice is a little bit croaky at the moment. I've been working on the welcome at Viva Studios, and that had its own approach to accessibility. We had 2 different quiet spaces, and I like how they approached accessibility, not in a one-size-fits-all, because that's never the case. I'm a big believer in what I call inter-accessibility. So sometimes one disabled person's access needs may contradict with another's, and it's how we can serve as much of the community as possible. That's what I do in my work. That's what I do with the Unmasked project, and also approaching it with really interesting approaches to audio description, for example, as well. I'm a big believer in adding like character to the audio description, so it's not necessarily a play where you have a neutral perspective. I like the idea of having biases in audio description and how that could kind of explore things. The Lowry, which was previously mentioned, had a recent consultation on access, and that was all around audio description. And I've got another project which has 3 different forms of audio description, which is a wrestling musical, but that's kind of on the back burner at the moment because Unmasked is taking up a lot of my time.
Fantastic, thank you. That was really brilliant. Thank you, Ushiku. Fantastic. Those masks are beautiful.